It's Mo, and welcome back to The Drop. I want to thank everyone that gave that feedback. Your love and support on that first video means a lot, helps with my confidence moving forward. I'm not going to lie, even though I wanted to do this, part of me holding back, part of me taking so long to do this, it's just a confidence builder. I didn't really think I was gonna be able to stand up in front of everyone. Back in school when I got in front of people, I could talk and get the presentation done, but I'd be shaking and nervous, hands shaking, arms shaking, and it just wasn't the best. But one thing I used to always say is I'm gonna do something like this eventually, either public speaking or a podcast or just anything, because I truly believe that some of the hardest things to you is some things you're supposed to do. Like one thing that was always hard to me was speaking, but I always had an opinion and I always had a mind for things. I always had my own thoughts on things. Even back when I was young and I was more quiet and more to myself, I had my own, I still had an opinion on things. It may not have been great, may have been a young-minded opinion, but I still had something. I always was trying to understand my surrounding. That's just how I've always been, always trying to understand what's going on. I love people, love trying to figure out what people are, why people do a certain thing. Even if someone does something that's quote unquote bad to society, I still try to understand. I think that's the best thing we can do as people, is try to understand each other. You may not understand why someone is, but at least try. Just try to put yourself in someone else's shoes. Look at yourself and see a couple things that, someone may not understand about yourself, and be like, all right, well, I can see. Okay. So I think understanding is one thing, and I don't mean to get too deep on y'all early into it, but I think understanding is a big thing. But, I'm sorry if I feel like if it seems like I'm all over the place with this episode. I'm just extremely excited. I got a lot of excitement. This is the first video. I was excited with how the first intro video went. Those of you that don't know, I did that joint in one take. Like, we put it on, we hit play, and after about 3 minutes, it was like, oh man, yeah, we should post this just as it is. And that's what we did. We added a little logo to it, we had a little intro to it, and y'all got raw footage right there. It was straight raw. So the positive feedback was just crazy. The fact that it was so raw. This, I ain't gonna lie, it ain't the same. We on a couple takes now, but we try to keep it raw. The reason why there's so many takes is because I'm not okay with doing a little bit here, doing a little bit there. I try to give y'all it all at once, and I try to keep raw with you. I try to just look at my topics, I keep them here in my bullet points, and push it out to y'all. All right. But I'm not only excited for this podcast. I'm excited because basketball is back, man. Sports are back, but basketball especially. Those of you that don't know, I played basketball. I played college basketball, D1, D2, D3. Yeah, I know all the divisions, but hey, I was trying to find myself as well as trying to make it just like everybody else. So I had to figure out my way and go my route. Was it the perfect route? No, but I got to learn a lot about myself along the way. Played a little bit in Germany. I still play ABA basketball now. I had a successful high school career. No state championship, but we got state runner up. But it can't be mad. But yeah, I love basketball. I played basketball. I had a father that played. Well, not had. I have a father. He used to play in the NBA. 15 years, a very solid career. Can shoot the lights out. Used to hold the record for most threes in the game with 12 till Clay and Curry decided to show up. But no, basketball has definitely been a big part of my life. And when we were deciding on what to talk in this, I was so stressed out. Like, man, I don't know what to talk about. All I know is I don't want to give too much. I don't want to give too little. My man Hunter was like, listen, do what you know. Start with what you know. And that's all it took. It's all it took, man. All you had to do is tell me do what I know and start with what I do. And man, that's sports and that's basketball. Now we're going to talk about other things, obviously, but like I said, I'm not the most confident in front of a camera or speaking. I may come off as confident, but I'm really not. So I think starting with basketball would be great. So with that being said, man, NBA coming back. We got this huge bubble. We got to see the success of the bubble with the TBT tournament. I don't know if any of y'all seen that TBT tournament on ESPN. The Golden Eagles, Marquette's alumni team, took home the $1 million prize. But even though I want to give them big props, mad respect to that team for getting that dub, my love and my respect has to go to Sideline Cancer. I'm a big underdog fan. So as soon as I seen this 22 seed team out of a 24 team tournament, working their way down the list and getting to the finals, man, I just had to jump on board. I ain't really watched the games in the beginning. I watched the highlights and all that. But once I seen this team, I was like, I got to watch. But man, the bubble worked out. It was successful. I think they after like a couple of days went straight down to no one testing positive no more. So it showed that the bubble can work. And I think with the NBA being down in Disney, they seem they put the barbershop down. I think it's going to be successful. I think it's going to be a lot of fun. And people so worried because it's different and things like that, but different is fun. I mean, every year, same thing over and over again. Let's, have something different. Now, it sucks that because of COVID-19 and this virus, that's the reason we, have to experience this. But man, it's going to be a fun experience. The first thing I said when we seen that barbershop in the photo, I said, man, that joint look like the 2K park. And Disney, y'all should do that. Call me if you do it. Call me. But I think y'all should do that. I think y'all should put the 2K park down there, or y'all version of the 2K park. I think people will come down there. They'll call next. Get to play your games, go around, maybe have just like the park, have an NBA store there, have a Foot Locker, get some new shoes, barbershop there, all the works. Basically have a basketball player's heaven. I think that would be crazy. I'll go there all the time, but y'all should really do that. That's not a bad idea in my opinion. Call me. I like to say in the design, but that's that's another conversation. But this bubble is just, it's so interesting to see it, unwind and come together, all the practice courts in the hotel, and you see players hanging out playing. I think what's his name, Harden was out here playing the beanbag toss game by himself, cornhole, that's what it's called, I'm sorry, playing cornhole by himself. You're seeing NBA players do stuff that you don't normally see them. All you do is see them walking on the street and paparazzi all up in their face, and I usually feel bad about that. I'd be like, man, the paparazzi needs to get out the face sometimes. I understand it's your job, but sometimes just let them be them. I feel that's just too much. But yeah, this bubble's crazy, and I was gonna go into the NBA and go into my projections and talk about this team, that team. I was gonna come with you, say LeBron's getting his ring, but even LeBron, this is a whole different scenario. We're talking about different pregame rituals. We're talking about just a different environment, and I can't just say, oh, the best team with the most talent or the team that was doing the best in the season is going to win. No, I think, to be honest, when I look at the teams, like, one of my favorites to win may be the Toronto Raptors. Why? Chemistry, great defense, play together. And that's something that may pull through, especially if, a player's not used to, being on lockdown and this isn't really how they prepare for games and stuff like that. You may see a little off on some of these players. But that being said, you may see a player that, maybe doesn't do too much pop off, and we might find a new superstar. But as far as my projections, man, the Raptors could do well. Man, we got Milwaukee over there, the Greek Freak playing well. Lakers playing well. Miami Heat doing well. Who else over there? And the Denver Nuggets. Like just a whole. I don't think there's any way we can go with projections. I think I need to see a couple games first in the bubble. I need to see how players are going to react. I need to see how players are going to play with no fans. Like, what you want to tell me that Russell Westbrook is still the same person with no fans? I mean, we see all the pickup games and stuff like that, but pickup to a game is so different. People like Russell Westbrook feed off the fans. They feed off that energy and they play for the fans, and they go 100 miles an hour. It may change a little bit. I'm not necessarily saying Russ, but we may see, a difference in Russ. Just a prediction, not saying, oh, it's going to happen. No, just saying it may happen. It may happen. But that being said, when this COVID all comes down, one thing I do want to see, and I do want people to take a look at. I do want to see the difference in injuries. One thing I was saying before COVID started was the overuse of our athletes. I feel like we see a lot more injuries today. You know, we got people like Jabari Parker, Michael Porter Jr., Zion got hurt. You know, we got all these young players coming in and getting hurt right away. And I think it's because of the overuse. You know, I understand, you know, practice makes perfect and work. But your body needs rest. You know, your body needs rest. And, you know, you need to have a life. Man, one thing about, you know, my coach at Albernia, shout out Coach Miller. He understood his players had a life. You know, he joked with us and made fun of us and things like that, but he understood we had a life. And, you know, he was there for us, things like that. We needed anything, I knew I can go to Coach, you know, and he never, you know, makes you feel any type of way for anything. And even to this day, if you see him, comes up to you, talks to you, says hi. But, you know, enough about that. Just, I think more coaches should be like that. You know, that's really why I'm bringing that up. I think that more coaches should, you know, get more involved and care about the player, not just care about X's and O's and, you know, the next job and things like that. Like, no, just get to know your players a little bit. Have fun with them. Do that. You know, I love coaches when you see them have the handshakes with their players and stuff like that. You know, at the end of the day, we all just trying to make the best out of our lives, you know. So yeah, I think we should check in on those injuries and see if we have a difference. Hopefully this rest right here, you're going to see a lot of players ready. You might see them jumping out the gym, things like that. Or you might see them like days ago and not really having their second win late in the game. But yeah, I think that's one thing we should see up in here. But yeah, just COVID in general, man, this is crazy. Like the fact that we're in a pandemic, like I never ever thought I'd be in a pandemic. Like I don't know if you ever thought you'd be in one. Like this is something you see out of a movie and you go, well, if that would happen, I would. Or, you know, you see an I Am Legend or a zombie movie, you go, if there was a zombie apocalypse, I'm going to do this and I'm going to do that. Man, COVID hit, you know what we did? We went and bought some damn toilet paper. Like, we started acting like a bunch of princesses. Like, oh, I need to have my ass wiped in case I die. Like, man, I understand why, but I don't think that should have been the main thing of our concern. Like, it should have been like water and, you know, canned goods should have been going. There's no reason I went and there was a whole bunch of canned goods and no toilet paper at the grocery store. But yeah, and I think with this COVID thing, from time to time, we act like a bunch of princesses, you know, with our mask. You know, I don't think it's too hard to wear your mask the right way. Like, I don't think people understand that your nose and your mouth is connected. You know, we want to show our nose underneath. When I see someone with their nose hanging out, I just want to go over and be like, yo, dumbass, like, what are you doing? And yeah, so yeah, this is crazy. This is crazy. Like, we really are living in a pandemic. You know, I don't really have much to say about it. Really, all I really have to say about the COVID is, listen, I understand people have their theories, and I understand that people may not believe in COVID and stuff like that, but please respect the people that, you know, rather be safe than sorry. You know, too many people over here saying, oh, it's my right to not wear a mask and this and that. But you do understand you're going on to public property and they do not need to serve you. Like, people are getting upset about places not serving them, and that's not a right. That's feeling entitled. It's the same as someone coming into your house. You buy a house and decide to turn it into a store, that's your private property. You're allowed to tell people, no, you don't have to serve people. You know, is it messed up if you do it for a specific reason, like race? Yes, it's fucked up. But you don't have to serve somebody. If they're not wearing their mask, it's your responsibility to keep the safety and the comfort of your guest or your customers. You know, I think that it's not hard to put a mask on. If you can't, it's 2020. It's not like this happened in the early 2000s. This is 2020. All right. 2020, you can buy stuff online and it be at your door in 2 to 3 days. Oh, it's called Amazon if you don't know. Amazon will bring stuff to your door 2 or 3 days. I mean, all this stuff right here, all this equipment, it came from Amazon. And it all got here, you know, in enough time for me to start this podcast in the time that I wanted to. I said I wanted this started by the end of July. And look, you know, we got this podcast going. So you can get stuff sent to your house. You know, you don't have to wear a mask. You know, you don't have to go somewhere. You don't. You know, you don't have to go to work. I know a couple jobs that are like, hey, if you're feeling sick or anything, you call off, you're not even going to get in trouble for it. You feel me? So I think it's not hard that if you're at a store, put your mask on the right way and respect people's distances, even without COVID. Like just a normal day, no mask, take it a year, two back, whatever. I don't even want y'all near me then. Like you can come say hi, you can talk, but random people be over here squeezing in between you and not saying excuse me and things like I don't think it's hard. But that's just my opinion on COVID. I don't want to get too deep into it. I just think that we just need a little bit more respect out there. Just a little bit more respect for people. But on a more positive note, just to give you an idea again of how this podcast is going to go, we're going to give you a little bit. I've been thinking about music. We're going to give you a little bit of music. Feel it right here. Like music of the week, songs of the week, things that, we've been listening to. And it was so easy to pick, one of these songs. It was a song we've been bumping all day during filming. And that's What's Poppin' by Jack Harlow. If I got that wrong, please let me know. Let me know in the comments below. But What's Poppin' by Jack Harlow, man, that's a song. I mean, I don't think we can go 30 minutes without somebody saying, what's poppin'? Brand new whip just hopped in. I got options. I can patch that bitch sliced out there. Like, it's just, man, that joint is so catchy, man. It's so catchy, man. It's so catchy. And when you look at the dude, you don't expect that song to come, and it's crazy. But you don't expect that to come out of it. But the flow is tough. The remix was better, and that song, if you haven't heard it, go listen to it. It's a fun song. It's gonna get you hype. It's gonna make you feel cool and things like that. But that first line right there, I'm gonna pass that bit like that. John is so tough, man, because. I'm a basketball fan. John Stockton, one of the best point guards to ever play the game, man. Only way he gonna make that better is if he said Pistol Pete or something. But they don't rhyme, man. They don't rhyme. But yeah, and then other than that, like a song that I feel like people may not be listening to or something like that, man. The next song that I've been listening to is a song by Kyle's new album. All right, Kyle. And Kyle's he came out with the song I Spy, things like that. But there's a song on his new album called Mr. Man and Kid, and it got like that old school flow to it, in my opinion, and it just sounds cool. And it's one of them songs that makes you want to bob your head. I think that's a song that is good for the younger generation. It's also good for the older generation if you're looking for some new music that got that old flow to it. It's called Mr. Man and Kid by Kyle. It's a good song. It's a fun song. It makes you want to bob your head. It makes you want to jam. We were listening to it before I started getting on camera. It's just a fun song. If you got any songs that may not be mainstream or one of the top songs on, please put that in the comments. Please let me know. I'm always listening to music. When I'm sitting here thinking of ideas, I got music playing. Me and my girl cooking, we got music playing. So it's good to hear some new songs, and sometimes songs can slip under the rug. So let me know in the comments below what songs. All right, with that being said, we'll move over to movies. We are in COVID, like I said, and what we've been doing, we've been watching movies, we've been watching Netflix, we've been I'm sure we've been binge watching all of our shows that we probably weren't watching beforehand. But there's one movie specifically, it's on Netflix. It's a Spanish movie, thriller movie. It's not really scary. So if you're not really into scary movies, it's not scary. Sorry, it's more of it just more has gore to it. There's killing, there's violence in it. But it's called The Platform. All right, it's on Netflix, and I think this movie has a good insight, or a small little insight, if you really pay attention to it, on the society we live in. All right, this movie is basically about a prison. All right, and it's in this pit, right, and each floor is a different cell room, and in the middle of the floor there's this platform that has a buffet of food on it on level 1, and then the people on level 1 get to eat as much as they want. Then the platform goes to 2 and 3 and so on and so on and so on, and you learn that there's so many rooms in here, over 100 levels, and obviously there's not going to be enough food with the way that greed is today and the way people act. You get to see really how it is in the world today. The people that are on the higher level, they treat the ones on the bottom like shit, and the ones on the bottom, they look at the ones up top like they're assholes and things like that. And then each month they switch. You could be on the lowest level and end up on the highest level the next month, but they still treat each other like shit I don't want to go too far into the movie, but I think it's a great movie to watch. I had my whole crew watch it today. They all liked it. They all were watching it, eyes set in stone on it. And we had we had people that were in their early 20s. You got me in my late 20s. You got my brother who's 15 watching, and he couldn't take his eyes off of it. So I think it's a really good movie, something to watch, with you and the family, or just to watch by yourself. But I would say, when you are, really think about what's going on and try and relate it to what's going on in the world today, because it's if you take it like that, you may take it a little hard, but yeah. That's the first podcast. Really, that's really all I got on my notes. Really, I may add a little bit here and there, but that's really the podcast right there. I mean, I'm so glad I got this going. I said I want to do this in one take, no cutscenes, no nothing, and damn, I'm excited. Oh man. Hopefully I do better for y'all the next time, because this is crazy. You know, just a couple things for y'all, just before I leave you, Hunter. You think there's anything else I'm missing, for real? Activities. All right, yeah, I forgot about that. No, for guys, like, again, same thing with the movie. Any movies that think may pick my mind, anything like that, leave them in the comments. Any music, leave them in the comments below. Leave in the comments who you think is gonna, who's gonna be the best player out of this NBA bubble. Who's gonna win this NBA bubble? And also, with COVID here, please, like, give me some activities that you've been doing. Whether it's staying at home with the family, playing some Monopoly, or playing Pictionary, or we've been downloading carnival games on PlayStation, little mini game like carnival games that you play on the PlayStation that we can play with 4-player and stuff. We go outside for walks. I go out for a walk every day. But just let me know what you've been doing. Let me know. So actually let everybody know in the comments. I think everybody's looking for something to do in this time. Everybody's getting a little bored. But please stay safe out there. Wear your mask. Wash your hands. I hope everyone is safe. I hope everyone is feeling well. I hope everyone stays safe, and I hope we get through this together. I hope we do. With that being said, I love all y'all. Thank you for the support, and again, meet me at the drop.